think you know all there is about the Pokémon world, but allow me to try to teach you something new. And let me know down in the comments whether I accomplished that task or not. If there are any interesting facts you know, please let us know as well so we can have an interesting discussion in the comments. Let's start with a simple one. You indeed know that Pokémon Black and White introduced 156 new Pokémon, the most Pokémon introduced to date, taking the place from Generation 1. If you were to subtract 156 from the 151 that Red and Blue introduced, you would be left with 5 Pokémon. That's a small note indicating that Black and White is the 5th generation. What? Don't look at me that way, I told you it was a simple one. By the way, do you know this guy? Of course you do. He has been in every gym you go to, giving you advice on how to deal with the gym leader. But can you tell me what his name is? No, his name is not Gym Guy. His name is Clyde. Generation 5 is the only generation that has given a name to the gym guide. And it seems it is not the same person in every gym, but they still share the same name, looks and outfit, like Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy in the anime. Did you know that every generation has had a rock type specialist at one time or another except for Generation 5? Generation 1 gave us Brock, Generation 3 gave us Roxanne, Generation 4 gave us Rourke, Generation 6 gave us Grant, and Generation 7 gave us Olivia. Oh right, I forgot about Generation 2. Who was the rock type specialist in this generation again? Oh right, it was this pretty lady right here. Her name is Jasmine. I know as of now she's a steel type specialist, but before Jasmine fell in love with the steel type, she used to be a rock type specialist, as revealed by this gentleman at the lighthouse. Maybe Brock would have had some hope here, who knows. Let's see if there is another one in Sword and Shield. Not that I'm looking forward to it. Talking about Jasmine, after you have defeated her in a rematch in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, she will be at her gym willing to trade you her Steelix for any Pokémon, even a Magikarp. The interesting thing about this Steelix is that it isn't the one she battles with, since that one is female and this one is male. She nicknamed it Rusty, which for me didn't mean anything special, but turns out that if you were to participate in the contest over in Sinnoh, which I didn't, you can be in the same contest as Jasmine and she participates with a male Steelix. Would you like to guess the nickname of the Steelix? Exactly, it is Rusty, which means she's actually trading you her beloved contest Steelix. You should trade it to your Sinnoh games and create a time paradox. I talked about this next one in one of my old videos. Have you heard about this NPC that trades you a hunter that doesn't evolve? She is there to troll you, making you think that you would end up getting a Gengar, but her hunter is holding an Everest, an item that prevents Pokemon from evolving. Well played, you evil witch. But what I want to get into here is the fact that from Generation 4 onwards, unlike Hunter and other trait evolution Pokemon, Kadabra will be able to evolve even if it is holding an Everest, even in a Alola. Don't believe me? Go ahead and try it, and I bet it will keep happening in Sword and Shield. Next up, let's talk about N. You probably know that you can catch N's Pokemon from Black and White in Black 2 and White 2 if you activate the Memory Link event where N is seen releasing them. They are easy to spot because they have a different sparkle than shiny Pokemon. If you were to have one of his Pokemon on your team when you reach the league, let's say Darmanitan, you will trigger a special quote where N says, "What's this? Why, you're the Darmanitan that helped me that time, aren't you? Hey, thanks." Since I already mentioned Darmanitan, I need to tell you yet one more thing. Out of all the Pokemon you can catch that belong to N, there are 3 Pokemon that weren't on his teams during the battles of Black and White. Those Pokemon were Woobat, Zorua, and the before mentioned Darmanitan. These 3 Pokemon were only shown in the intro of Pokemon Black and White with N as a kid. Let's let N rest for a while, and now let's talk about a peculiar Pokemon called Delibird. Delibert's Pokédex entry in Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire states that there once was a famous explorer who managed to reach the peak of Mount Everest thanks to one of these Pokémon sharing its food. It is weird seeing a Pokédex entry mentioning a real world place, which I actually made a video about. You can take a look at it later, but keep in mind that it was my second video, so the quality might not be that great. But the point here is that they removed Mount Everest in the remakes and replaced it with the world's highest mountain. This isn't the only Pokédex entry that has been modified though. Milton's Pokédex entry in Pokémon Silver states that if it has just had a baby, the milk it produces contains much more nutrition than usual. It was replaced in the remakes later on for if it is around babies, the milk it produces contains much more nutrition than usual. Maybe because Milton's Silver entry implies that Milton gives birth like an actual cow, even though Pokémon reproduce through eggs. Have you heard about this cool anime about a guy gathering some Dragon Balls to summon a green dragon to grant him wishes? Well, something strikingly similar happened in Pokémon. The Delta episode is just Zinnia gathering the Dragon Balls to summon Shenlong like Goku does in Dragon Ball. Zinnia just goes stealing keystones from other people to summon Rayquaza to grant her a wish. And while it is not confirmed that she gathered 7 of them, I did some research and we could theorize that she truly did. Let's count them. First, Zinnia's own keystone. The first one she steals is your neighbor's keystone. Later on, she steals Wallace. Then she goes and steals the keystones from the admin and leader from the evil team. Now we are missing 2 keystones, right? This is where the theory part comes into play. As we know, Zinnia is lamenting the loss of Aster, the person her Whismur is named after. She was the previous lore keeper and was able to use Mega Evolution as well. It is stated in the manga that Zinnia kept her keystone. We could say that she also has it in the video games. And finally, she lures you to the top of a Sky Pillar, and therefore using also your keystone in the summoning of Rayquaza. There's even a moment where she knocks you out. I wonder what for. While the 7 keystones is a speculation on my part, she still mentions wanting to summon Rayquaza so he can grant her a wish. I don't need to describe the similarities between Rayquaza and Shenlong, do I? It just screams Dragon Ball if you ask me. I was longing for the day I could talk about Goku in a Pokémon video. Dreams do come true. And this isn't the only Dragon Ball trivia we could talk about, but what do you say we leave that for another time? And that's all for today's video. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and tell me whether or not you learned something new down in the comments. Oh, and go drink a glass of water, you need to stay hydrated, it's been crazy hot after all.